During my free time, I like to start up Halo 3 and play Big Team Battle. This game is incredibly fun, but incredibly frustrating at the same time, and that's because of one thing. Shitty teammates. On this game, you'll have so many dumbass allies, they make me not only question their intelligence, I wonder how humanity has evolved to dominate the Earth. Like, seriously, how? How did we get to this point? There are a lot of mistakes and really stupid shit people do online on Halo, and while it kills them in the game, it kills me on the inside. But seriously, a lot of things people do on this game actually hurt their team more than just them. These are all things I see people do in Halo a lot, and some of it boils my blood, to be honest. Here's what not to do in Halo. Number 10. Flying ahead. Whether you're piloting the Banshee or the Hornet, you got a pretty powerful vehicle. You have stronger guns than the battle rifle, you know, the gun that everyone spawns with at first. You can overlook the whole map, and you can fucking fly. So yeah, the Banshee and the Hornet, it's a pretty big deal. However, people make a great mistake when they race their team to the Banshee and get it. Like a complete imbecile, I've almost always seen them fly straight to the enemy base. On Big Team Battle, the enemy will always, on Big Team Battle, they're always going to have a Spartan Laser and a tank. Two of these are almost always going to guarantee a failed air attack. My advice if you're going in with the Hornet or Banshee is to just wait it out at your base until you know, or at least think that the enemy tank and Spartan Laser are either destroyed or stolen. Same can be said with the missile pod as well. Every time you fly immediately into the enemy base, you will go down unless you know their AA guns and vehicles are not available. Number 9. Being AFK. This is high on the list when it comes to Big Team Battle, as 7v8 isn't that big of a disadvantage, but still a disadvantage nonetheless. That one less person is one less gunner, one less tank driver, one less person with a rocket launcher, and if multiple people are AFK, forget about winning. Why search for a game if you're not even gonna play it anyway? That's what I don't get. Here's a tip to have some consideration for your fellow Halo fanboys. If you gotta take a piss, stop searching for a match, go piss, then come back. I know, I impress myself sometimes. The concept may seem whack, but I assure you, it'll be good for everyone. Number 8. Jealous Betrayal. Almost every Halo game starts with you racing your teammates to a vehicle like the tank or Banshee. Obviously, you should expect not to get it if you have about 4 other people racing you to it, and only one person can drive. Sometimes, however, your teammates can be assholes, and when they don't get what they want, they throw grenades at the vehicle or shoot it. It's really dumb to do this because not only do you look like a spoiled fucking child throwing a temper tantrum, you're damaging a vehicle that will get more kills for your team, and the more it's damaged, the sooner it'll be destroyed. If you do this, you need to grow some balls and accept the fact that someone got something that you didn't, and just go find something else you can get instead of screaming at your screen and damaging your teammates' vehicles. You can get a Spartan Laser, drive the Wraith, pilot the Banshee, or get a rocket launcher. There's so many other options to get kills, so just move on. Your kill count and team will thank you for trying to find a different strategy instead of wasting your time and wasting their HP. Number 7. Bad gunning. Not everyone is going to be a master at gunning, especially on the Warthog. I understand that, but everyone should have some common sense when it comes to it. This number is basically numerous embarrassing mistakes people do, but they're all related to taking the gunner's seat on the Warthog, or using a vehicle that can fire weapons, but mainly the Warthog is what we're focusing on here. I've been in several scenarios where I'm driving the Warthog and I got a gunner, and the gunner's just staring blankly at one direction, rather than looking around like a fucking squirrel, and it usually is like it's like the out of bounds part of the map that they stare at instead of where the enemy team actually could be at. Like, they just stare at the minefields and sand trap. This may be crazy, but as a gunner you want to shoot all of the enemies around you. So wouldn't looking all around you be a good idea rather than just staring blankly at one direction? Another common yet fatal mistake I see is when I spot an enemy vehicle in front of us or in the distance, I honk my horn as aggressively as I can to warn the gunner. Even even after that though, the gunner is still mesmerized by the sheer nothingness that is in the sky or sandfields. Sometimes I see an enemy warthog that's badly damaged, or even a tank that we could totally destroy by a surprise attack. So I honk my horn as aggressively as I can, so that way I could just get the gunner to just look in front of us and shoot them, but they're not just turning their head a mere 20 degrees to look around. There are even instances where the gunner is fully aware of someone nearby us, and they're looking directly at the enemy in front of us, but they don't even pull the trigger, letting us get damaged, but usually letting us die. Or on this other game where I was being hijacked when I had the Hornet, before I could take off, an enemy player came and was hijacking me. An allied Wraith was right next to me, looking at it, fully aware, just staring at us, and not even doing anything. I even get up close for the little time I had before I got kicked out. I got close right into the Wraith, giving him the cleanest shot ever. That shot was cleaner than fucking OxyClean, yet he didn't dare shoot for some reason. Another example is when I drive us to the enemy base, no one is there to defend, and we can destroy their vehicles before they even take them. My gunner, however, doesn't decide to shoot. They're just totally spaced out, drooling a pool of spit. I usually solve this malfunction in their brain by taking a risk by getting out of the driver's seat and shooting their vehicles. Because if I get out of the driver's seat, that's going to, that's going to put me at a risk because I can't get away and we're at the enemy base. And that's going to put them at a risk because they can't get away either. So it's a big risk for me to do this, but since they're not shooting the vehicles, I have to get out, and what I do is I just start shooting the vehicles. Then the gunner with 6 IQ starts shooting at finally. But this one occasion, however, I did that, and the gunner was still just drooling out of his mouth, clueless on what to do. I can't believe I have to say this, but when you see someone not on your team, shoot them, look around to see anything, and most importantly, destroy enemy vehicles. Like seriously, that's really important to do in this game. Number 6, on the offensive. I've had numerous games where all of my teammates go offensive and go straight to the enemy base. Doesn't matter what vehicle or weapon they have, everyone just goes offensive. This is always backfiring as this shitty strategy leads to our base being taken since no one's there to defend it. Our vehicles and weapons either get destroyed or, worst case, and most commonly, stolen. I've seen 2 enemy tanks so many times because no one knows how to defend or what that means. Once they take all of your vehicles and our power weapons, they just farm us at our spawn, and making a comeback at that point is next to impossible. Number 5, forgetting vehicles. If you're not going to believe this, but I've been in games where none of my teammates even went for the tank. The tank! This isn't common, of course, but it does happen. We can lose our tank, we sometimes do, or I have to get it, which, hey, I'm not complaining. But if I got a Spartan laser, I'm not going to get the tank. The most common thing I've noticed is the Wraith being left out, which it's kind of a bummer because the Wraith is a great vehicle for artillery and taking on light vehicles like Warthogs or Mongooses or Choppers. Leaving the Wraith for no one to take is extremely dangerous, especially when it gets stolen. If the Wraith being stolen is dangerous, the tank being stolen is the most horrible thing that can happen. That's the worst case scenario. I also saw no one piloting the Hornet 1 match. No matter the vehicle, except like the Mongoose or Prowler, it's always better to take a vehicle than to be on foot, unless you have a power weapon, which leads to the next problem. Number 4, greed. You may have never asked yourself before, what does greed look like in Halo? But I'm about to answer it. As we know, there are many weapons and vehicles available for your team. It's important we all are geared up and slay the enemy team together. I like to call them roles, as there are many roles or positions you can take. You could be a sniper, a vehicle destroyer, a Spartan. You could destroy vehicles with a Spartan laser. You could be a tank driver, air support, and more. Greedy players though will try and fill multiple roles. For example, I saw this guy with a Spartan laser, a weapon perfect for destroying vehicles of all kinds. This fucker switches to his BR and drives a Warthog, waiting for a gunner. When I saw this, I immediately said, "Oh hell no, you have a Spartan laser, you don't need a drive." I threw a grenade to get him out of the Warthog. And yeah, I know. I damaged an allied vehicle, but let me explain if you don't have common sense. He had a Spartan laser, yet wanted to drive a Warthog. This is a shitty combination as we would lose a Spartan laser, and the enemy team would get it when he dies in the Warthog. We also would have no one backing our vehicles with the Spartan laser, because he'd be too busy driving. So I believe damaging the Warthog a little bit in order to kick that tard out was well worth it. Taking multiple power weapons can work sometimes, like a sniper and Spartan laser combo. That's pretty good while staying at your base. It's a great and handy strategy. You can snipe enemy players and destroy enemy vehicles should any get too close. But if you take a power weapon and then decide to drive a vehicle, think again, because you're obviously drunk if you do this, so you shouldn't be behind the wheel anyway. Number 3. Not assisting. There have been countless times where I see someone on my side, like next to me on my side, so I believe I am covered by them. But then an enemy sneaks up on the same side my ally was at and kills me, with my ally still being alive, just not giving a damn to help me. Keep in mind, this happens even when I have a tank, so I'll lose a tank because my ally doesn't care to help me. I don't know why, but my teammates sometimes just stare into space rather than helping me with an enemy vehicle, or someone with a power weapon, you know. Taking an enemy down, that would greatly benefit the whole team and them. My guess is that they're just high on LSD or something, just tripping balls so hard that they can't even comprehend what a team is. Number 2. Cheap kills and teabagging. This generally goes towards enemies, but it could apply to anyone in the game really. Cheap kills like camping at enemy base, staying in one place, or camping at a teleporter are all cheap ass kills that you don't really earn at all. You're just an asshole. But teabagging after you do it is beyond being an asshole. When you do shit like this, you're an insecure cunt who gets cheap kills in a video game to try and improve one's self-esteem. You're not jack shit for getting cheap kills and then teabagging and bragging after. You're a cunt who needs to get actually good at the game. Oh, number 1. This just blows my... I fucking hate this shit. Number 1. Playing on keyboard and mouse. This fucking shit kills my soul. If you're playing Halo on a goddamn PC, then get the fuck out of here and eat shit and die. Halo is an Xbox game, little bitch-ass PC player, and it will always be. Your little piece of shit keyboard and mousey mouse has no place to be in my game. You dick sucker. Go back to playing Steam on Google or whatever the fuck. PC nerd-ass, cringe-ass motherfucker. Yeah, that last one was a joke, of course. I couldn't care less what you play on. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, especially since this is a new type of video I'm calling Stop Doing This videos. I plan to do more on other topics, and I hope you guys will look forward to those as well. I'm heading out, but if you want to stick around for the gameplay in the background, be my guest player. With all that said, peace out. Now, what should I do with this script?
minutes remaining.